Exercise 3.1. Calculate the following quantities. Question number 1, part 1. Right, so we have half of rupees 5,000. Right, so what is that? Half, we replace off by what? By multiplication symbol, then 5,000. 2 times 1, 2 times 2,500. So what is the value? 2,500 rupees. Right, so the second one, what do we have? Quarter of 2,000 milliliters. Quarter of 2,000 milliliters. So just as before, we replace off by what? The multiplication symbol. So 4 times 1, 4 times 5. So what is the answer? 500 milliliters. We always have to put the unit. Okay, so the third one, what do we have? 3 by 4 of 200 meters. Right? So just as before, 3 by 4, we replace off by what? Multiplication symbol. Right? So 4 times 1, 4 times 50, 3 into 50, what is that? 150. So the answer is 150 meters. Part 4, what do we have? So there we have 3/5 of 250 kilograms. Right? So 3/5, we have to multiply that by what? 250. 5 times 1, 5 times 50. 3 into 50, what is that? 150 kilograms. That is the answer. Right. Part 5, what do we have? 2/3 of 2.4 liters. Right. So 2/3 multiplied by 2.4. So 2.4, when we divide that by 3, what is it? 0.8. 2 into 0.8, what is that? 1.6 liters. Right, exercise 3.1, question number 1, part F. What do we have? 3/4 of 4.8 kilometers. Right, so that means what? 3/4, we have to multiply that by 4.8. So 4 into 1, 4 into 1.2. So that means 3 into 1.2. So 3.6, those are what? Kilometers. Right, question number 2. What do we have? Mr. Upul received 24,000 rupees as his salary last month. He spent 3/8 of it for travel expenses. Find the amount he spent for travel expenses. Right, so what do we have to do? 24,000. So from 24,000, how much did he spend? 3/8. Right, so 8 times 1, 8 times 3,000. So 3,000 into 3, what is that? 9,000. So what is the amount? 9,000 rupees. Don't forget, you have to mention the answer with the unit. Question number 3. A household water tank was filled with water. When 3/4 of its volume was used up, there was 200 liters of water remaining in the tank. At the beginning, it was full. Then 3/4 has been used. Right? So what will the remaining amount be? It has given to us as what? Remaining amount? It has been given to us as what? 200 liters. මෙන්න මේ ඉතිරිලා තියෙන ටික. Right. එතකොට මේ ටික තමයි පාවිච්චි කරලා තියෙන්නේ. 3/4. ඒ කියන්නේ පාවිච්චි කරපු amount එක fraction එකක් විදියට ගත්තොත් 3/4. What fraction of the whole tank was remaining volume of water equal to? What is that? 1/4, no? Right? So at the very beginning it was full, then 3/4 has been used, then what is the remaining amount? 1/4. Right? or a quarter. And I make a ganak with the 1 minus 3 quarters. That means what? 4 by 4 minus 3 quarters. Then what will be the answer? 1 quarter. Second part of that question. Find the capacity of the tank. Now, the remaining amount is what? 200 liters. And we know the remaining amount as a fraction also. That is a quarter. So, 1 quarter is equal to 200 liters. Right? Then, what will be the full amount or the capacity? We have to multiply this by what? By 4. So, it will be 800 liters. 800 liters. 3/7 of a plot of land belonged to Pradeep. He bought a quarter of the portion of land which did not belong to him and annexed it to his plot. Right. So under that we have 3 parts. So the first part, what fraction of the total plot of land did Pradeep buy? So in the question it says that Pradeep owned 3/7 of the land, no? Right? So he owned this amount. Then what did he do? He bought another quarter. So just imagine, so Pradeep owned 3/7 of the land. Then what will be the remaining amount of the land? So the lands are next to each other, no? So the remaining amount will be what? 4 by 7. Then actually he bought a quarter of the land from this amount. ඉතිරියෙන් එයා ගන්න නේ. ඉතිරිලා තියෙන ඉඩමෙන් නේ ගන්න නේ. එයාගේ ඉඩමෙන් ගන්නවා කියලා ගන්න නේ. ඉතිරිලා තියෙන ඉඩමෙන් තමයි එයා හතරෙන් එකක් ගන්න. Right? So how do we find the answer? From 4 by 7, from this amount of fraction, he buys another quarter. Right? So 4 by 7, we replace this off by the multiplication symbol. So we can cancel out this 4. So 1 by 7. So that is the answer. Okay, part 2. Show that Pradeep now owns more than half of the plot of the land. So I will come to this side. So this is part 2. At the moment, after he bought this part of land, what is the total amount of land that he has as a fraction? So before he had 3 by 7, no, 3/7. Then he bought another 7th, right? Then what is the total amount? 4/7. Right? Then what do we have to do? We have to compare these fractions. Which one is larger? Right? To do that, we have to come up with the what? Common denominator. So between these two numbers, the common denominator is what? 14. So 4 by 7, I have to multiply the numerator by 2 and the denominator by 2. So I get 8 by 14. So instead of 4 by 7, I can use 8 by 14. Half, 1/2, I will multiply the numerator by 7 and the denominator by 7. So 7 by 14. 7 by 14. Now we can compare them. So this fraction is larger. This fraction is larger. That means what? 4 by 7 is larger. Okay. Third part. If the area of the portion remaining after Pradeep had bought a part of it is 240 square meters, what is the area of the land owned by Pradeep in square meters? Right. So here, right. So this is the third part. The total amount of land that Pradeep bought, that is what? 4 by 7. No? So this belongs to Pradeep. So what is the remaining amount? Remaining amount as a fraction. That is what? 3 by 7. No? So actually, this is equal to what? This is equal to 240 square meters. Right? This is equal to 240 square meters. So what is 1/7 equal to? How do we find it? We have to divide 240 by 3. So we get what? 80. So that means 1/7 or 1/7 or 1/7 of the land is equal to what? 80 square meters. So what is the amount of land Pradeep owns as a fraction? 4/7. So we have to multiply this by what? 80/4. So we get what? 320 square meters. Okay, question number 5. Vishwa, who is saving money to buy a bicycle, has been able to save 5/8 of the required amount. He requires 2,700 rupees more to buy the bicycle. Right, so under that we have two parts. First part, what fraction of the value of the bicycle does he now need to save? So that is easy, no? So he had saved 5/8. So he still needs what? 3/8, no? Either 5/8. When we add 3/8, that becomes what? 8/8, no? 1 whole. So this is equal to 1, no? So this is the answer as a fraction, or we can take simply as what? 1 minus 5/8. So we get what? 8/8 minus 5/8. So the answer is 3/8. Alright? Find the value of the bicycle. Right. So in the question it says that he needs 2,700 rupees more to buy the bicycle. Right? So that means what? 3/8 are equal to 2,700. That means 1/8 or 1/8 is equal to what? 2,700 divided by what? 3. So that is 900. So what is the value of the bicycle? 900, we have to multiply that by 8, no? So we get what? 7,200 as the value. So what is the value of the bicycle? 7,200 rupees. 7,200 rupees. Okay, question number 6. Muhammad wrote exactly half of his land in his daughter's name and 1/3 of his land in his son's name. He donated the remaining 10 acres to the charity. Right, so we will sketch it down. So half went to the daughter, 1/3 went to the son, and the remaining 10 acres went to the charity. Part 1. What fraction of the total plot of land did Muhammad donate to charity? So how do we calculate it? What is the logic there? We know half of the land went to the daughter, 1/3 went to the son, right? So the remaining amount, we know the remaining amount, but not as a fraction, as acres. So what do we have to do? We have to find the total amount of land which went to the daughter and the son. So we can calculate it, no? So we can get the value as a fraction, right? Then what do? We simply subtract that amount from the whole, right? Okay. So what do we need to do? 1/2, we need to add a 1/3, no? So here the denominators are not same. So we have to calculate the least common denominator. So the denominators are 2 and 3. So the least common denominator is what? Or the LCM, least common multiple is what? 6, no? So 1/2, I have to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3. So this becomes what? 3/6. So instead of half, I can use 3/6. Why? These two are equivalent fractions. So 3/6. Then 1/3. I can multiply the numerator and the denominator by what? 2. So this becomes what? 2/6. Right? 2/6. Then I have to add these together. So this becomes what? 5/6. Right. So what is this figure or the fraction? This is the total amount of land which went to the daughter and the son of Muhammad as a fraction. Then what is the remaining amount? 1/6, no? So මේක තමයි මොකද්ද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? charity එකට ගිහින් තියෙන්නේ නේ. Right. So this will be the answer. අපිට සුළු කරන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ නේ. නිකන් හිතලා ගන්නත් පුළුවන් නේ. 6න් 5ක් මේ දෙන්නගේ නම් ඉතිරි 6න් එක තමයි charity එකට ගිහින් තියෙන්නේ. Right. Part 2. How many acres is the whole plot of land? So we know 1/6 of it is equal to 10 acres. right? So what is the whole amount? 10, we have to multiply that by 6. So we get 60 acres. 60 acres of land. Right. So now we come to the third part. Since the land that was donated to charity was not sufficient, his daughter was willing to give a portion of what she received so that the land that the charity received would be double the initial amount. Show that when this is done, the plots that the daughter and the son have are equal in area. For this part, we will take the total amount of land as what? 6 by 6, right? So from 6 by 6, the daughter received half, no? That means what? 2 times 1, 2 times 3. So here we have what? 3 by 6. So this went to the daughter initially. So I will put a D here. That stands for daughter. Think about the son. A third went, no? So we have to multiply this by 1/3. 3 times 1, 3 times 2. So we get what? 2 by 6. So this amount went to the son. The remaining amount, as we know, went to charity, no? Now, the daughter decides to give more land to the charity. He decides to double it. So, doubling means when you think about the charity, at the moment the charity has 1/6 of the land. So, double means what? We need to add another same amount, no? So, this becomes what? 2 by 6. Or to put it simply, take 1 by 6, multiply it by 2, no? For this part, we won't be doing the simplification because it will be easier for us to compare. නැත්තම් මට මෙයයි සුළු කරන්න පුළුවන්. අපි එහෙම කරන්නේ නැතුව අපිට fractions compare කරන්න ලේසි වෙන හන්ද අපි මෙහෙම තියාගමු. එතකොට මෙයා double කරා කියන එක අපිට මෙහෙම ගන්නත් පුළුවන් නේ 2 by 6 කියලා. Without doing the simplification නේ. දෙකම සමානයි. Who gave the extra 1/6 the daughter? එහෙනම් මෙයා ගාව කොච්චරක් තිබ්බද? Initially she had 3/6. අපි මේවා දැන් මෙන්න මේ අපි තියාගමු simplify කරන්න නැතුව. හරි එතකොට අපිට මේ ගාන තේරුම් ගන්න ලේසි. නැතුව මට මේ simplify කරන්න අමතක වෙලා එහෙම නෙමෙයි ඈ. Right. So after giving the land 1/6 of land, what is the amount that the daughter has? 3 by 6 minus 1 by 6, 2 by 6. හරි. දැන් එහෙනම් බලමු. After giving the land, amount of land to the charity, the daughter has what? 2/6. Son, so he didn't give any amount to the charity, no? So he has the initial amount, which is 2/6. Then the charity, from the beginning, the charity had 1/6. Received again another 1/6. So what will be the amount? 2/6. 2 by 6, 2 by 6, 2 by 6. Now all three of them has the same amount of land. Even if we simplify this, this becomes 1 by 3, this also becomes 1 by 3, this also becomes 1 by 3. So all three of them have the same amount of, all three of, in the sense, the daughter, the son and the charity now has the same amount of land as a fraction. Right. Question number 7. Black pepper and cloves have been cultivated in 7/8 of a plot of land. Black pepper has been cultivated in 450 square meters while cloves has been cultivated in 1/4 of the land. And under that we have 3 parts. So first part, what is that? The fraction of land on which black pepper has been cultivated. Right. So both black pepper, so I'm going to just put pepper here, pepper and cloves were cultivated. Right? So the total amount of land as a fraction is what? 7/8. And when we talk about black pepper, so this has been cultivated on 450 square meters of land. Cloves, so that has been cultivated in 1/4 of the land. So in the question, what are they asking? On the first part, in fraction of land, the fraction of land on which black pepper has been cultivated. Right. So in the question, it says both have been cultivated on this amount of land, which is 7 of 8. And out of that, 1/4 is what? Cloves. Right? Then we know the total amount of land which both pepper and cloves has been cultivated. Right? We know the amount of land where only cloves has been cultivated. So by subtracting the values, we can get the amount of land where only the black pepper has been cultivated. Right. So how do we find it? 7 by 8 or 7/8, we have to subtract 1 by 4. So between these two, the least common denominator is what? 8. So 7 by 8, we have to subtract what? 2 by 8. So here we get what? 5 by 8. The area of the whole land. Right. So we have been indicated or given in the question, the land where only the pepper has been cultivated is 450 square meters. So we know 5/8, that is equal to 450 square meters. So what is 1/8 equal to? 450, we have to divide it by 5, no? So that is 90 square meters. So in the question, what are they asking? The area of the whole land. So what do we have to do? Take 90 and multiply it by 8. So 720 square meters. That is the answer. Right. So in the next part, they are asking the area in which cloves has been cultivated. Black pepper that has been cultivated in 5/8 of the land. And the total amount of land which both of, that means the pepper and the cloves, black pepper and the cloves has been cultivated, that is what? 7 of 8. Then by subtracting these two, we can get the amount of land where only the cloves has been cultivated. So that is what? 7 by 8, we have to subtract 5 by 8. So we get what? 2 by 8. So we know 1 by 8, that is equal to what? 90 square meters. So 2 by 8 means what? 90 into 2. So that means 180 square meters. The answer is 180 square meters. So there's another way of getting the answer regarding the third part. Right? So in the question, it says that the amount of land has been cultivated, cultivated only cloves, that is 1/4. So we know the total amount of land now. That is 720 square meters. So we have to calculate 1/4 of this. 4 times 1, 4 times 1, and for 32, 4 times 8. So 800 into 1, we get 180. 180 square meters. So that is another way of getting the same answer. Right, exercise 3.1, under that question number 8. A piece of wire was cut into 3 equal parts. One of the 3 parts was cut again into 4 equal pieces. So under that part 1, what is the fraction of the length of the whole piece of wire is the length of one small piece? Here we don't know the length, no. So it has been divided into 3 equal parts. When the wire has been divided into 3 equal parts, what is the length of that one part? 1 by 3. මොකද මේකේ තියෙන කම්බියක් තියෙනවා සමාන කැලි 3කට බෙදුවොත් එහෙම මීටරයක් කියලා හිතන්නකෝ. සමාන කැලි 3කට බෙදුවොත් එහෙම මීටරෙන් 3න් එකයි තියෙන්නේ. ඊට පස්සේ මොකද කරලා තියෙන්නේ? It has been divided that one small piece. මේ 3න් එකක් ආපහු මොකද කරලා තියෙන්නේ? It has been divided into 4 equal parts. So what do we have to do? We have to divide this by 4. So we know 1 by 3, that means what? Multiplied by what? Reciprocal of 4, which is what? 1 by 4. So what will it be? 1 by 12. Make the answer. Right? So the answer is 1 by 12. Okay, second part. Illustrate the above division of the wire by a figure and compare the answer you obtain with the answer in part 1 above. Right. එතකොට ඒක ඇදලා ගන්න ඕන. එතකොට මම ඒක මෙතන අදින්න යන්නේ. So we will go to the next part. Right? which will be the third part. If a small piece of wire is 70 centimeters in length, find the length of the whole wire. That means what? එතන කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? මෙන්න මෙයාගෙනම නෙමෙයි. Right? That means in the first part of the question, they are saying the whole wire has been divided into 3 equal parts. No? So this 70 centimeters is not that one part, but this part, 1/12. So 1/12 is equal to what? 70 centimeters. Then what will be the total length? 70. We have to multiply that by 12, no? Right? Okay, so what will be the value? 840 centimeters. Right, exercise 3.2. Under that, question number 1. Mr. Austin, who works in an office in the city, spends 2/5 of his salary on food and sends 2/3 of the remaining amount to his wife. 2/5 goes to the food, then 2/3 of the remaining that goes to the wife. This is remaining amount. From the remaining amount of 2/5. Okay, so what is the first part? What fraction of his salary remains after he has spent for his food? Right? So from 5/5, we have to subtract 2/5. So this is 3/5. So even we don't have to do this calculation, right? We can directly come up with the fraction which is 3/5. Part 2. What fraction of his salary does he send his wife from the remaining amount? That is 3/5. From that he sends how much? As a fraction, 2/3, right? So he sends 2/5, right? 2/5. Okay, so the third part. What fraction of his salary is left over after these expenses are made? Right. So 2/5 of his salary that is spent for food. Then from the remaining amount he sends to the wife a 2/3. So that is 2/5 again from his total salary. So we have to add that amount also. So we get what? 4/5. They are asking us what is the remaining amount. What is the remaining amount? 1/5. No? 1/5. Right. Second question. From a certain amount of money, half was given to A, 1/3 of the remaining amount was given to B, and the rest was given to C. So half that is given to A. From the remaining amount, or we will say remainder, from the remainder, 1/3 was given to whom? B. And the rest was given to C. Right? So the rest that is given to C. Right? So under that part 1, find the fraction that C received from the amount that was distributed. Right? So half that was given to A. So what is the amount that B received? From the remaining amount, when half was given to A, the remaining amount is what? Again half, no? From that amount, 1/3. So this is what? A 1/6. Right? So B received a 1/6. So what is the total amount that A and B received as a fraction? We have to add these two fractions, no? So 1/2, to that we add 1/6. So we will do the shorter method. Cross multiply in this way. So 1 times 6, that is 6. Now cross multiply in this way. 2 times 1, that is 2. So here we need to do an addition, no? So 6 plus 2. Then what is the denominator? 2 times 6, that is 12. So here we get what? 8/12. So we can further simplify this as what? 2/3. So the amount that received from both A and B as a fraction is what? 2/3. Then what is the amount that was received by C? 1/3, no? 1/3. ඇයි ඒටයි බීටයි දෙන්නටම තුනෙන් දෙකක් හම්බුණා නම් ඉතිරි වෙන්න ඕන තුනෙන් එකක්නේ. ඒක යන්නේ කාටද? C-ට. 2/3 plus 1/3, that is equal to what? 3/3. The whole. සම්පූර්ණ එකක්. So the second part of the question, if instead of dividing the amount in the above manner, it was divided equally between the three, show that the amount that B would receive is twice the amount that he received initially. Right, so now the amount has been divided into 3 equal parts now. That means what? A received 1/3, B received 1/3, and C also received 1/3. So previously, what is the amount that B received? Previously, B received what? 1/6, no? This is previously, yeah? So we need to prove now, that means this amount, that B received, which is 1/3, is twice the amount which he received or which we received previously. So what do we need to do? Take 1/6 and multiply it by 2. So 2 times 1, 2 times 3. So we get what? 1/3 as the answer. So that is correct. Right? So the statement is true. Okay? If we take 1/6 and multiply it by 2, we get what? 1/3. දෙගුණයක් උනා කියන අදහස මෙතන තියෙනවා. Right, third part. If C received 1,000 rupees through the initial distribution, find the total amount that was distributed among the 3. Right. So initially, C received 1/3 as a fraction. So 1/3, that is equal to what? 1,000 rupees. 1/3, that is equal to 1,000 rupees. Then what is the total amount? 1,000, we have to multiply that by 3, no? So 3,000 rupees. So the amount is rupees 3,000. It has been decided to allocate 2/3 of the floor area of a certain hall for classrooms, 2/3 of the remaining portion for an office, and the rest of the floor area, which is 200 square meters, for the library. Right. So we will write those things. 2/3, that is for what? Classrooms, classes. Then another 2/3 from the remainder. So I'll simply put an R here. Right? From the remaining amount, 2/3. Or from the remainder, 2/3. So that is for an office. Right? So the rest of the area, that is what? 200 square meters, make a cart of it. Library. Part 1. What fraction of the whole area has been allocated for the office? Right, that means here. So 2/3 have been allocated to classes, no? So from the remaining amount, මෙයාගෙන් 3 දෙකක් ගියම remaining amount එක වෙන්නේ කොච්චරද? 3 එකයිනේ. From 1/3, another 2/3 need to be located for the office. So 1/3, this is the remaining amount, huh? Right? So 2/3. So what will be it? 2 times 1, that is 2. 3 times 3, that is 9. So this is the amount from the whole area is allocated for the office. Right? So 2/9, that is the answer. දැන් මේ මෙතන පොඩ්ඩක් මෙතන 2/3 තියෙනවා, මෙතන 2/3 තියෙනවා, එක පැටලෙයිද දන්නේ නැහැ. මෙතන වෙන්නේ මෙහෙම දෙයක්. දැන් මුලින්ම ක්ලාස්රූම් එකෙන් 3න් 2ක් තියෙන මුළු ෆ්ලෝ ඒරියා එකෙන් 3න් 2ක් යනවානේ ක්ලාසස් වලට. So from the remaining amount, what is the remaining amount? So from the whole floor area, 2/3 have been allocated for the classes. එහෙනම් කොච්චරක් ඉතිරි වෙනවද? We have to do the subtraction, no? So what will this be? 3/3 minus 2/3. මොකද්ද මේක simplify කරපුවම එන්නේ අපිට 1/3. මෙතන 3න් 1යි. So from this amount we have to allocate the floor space for the office. So from the remainder again we have to take 2/3. ඒක තමයි මෙතන මේ තියෙන්නේ. Then part 2. What fraction of the whole area has been allocated for the library? So 2/3. So this has been allocated for classes. Right? So what do? We convert 2/3 into a fraction where the denominator is 9. So 2/3, I will multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3. So we will get 6/9. So this amount of space is what? For classes. So you can see that 2 by 3 and 6 by 9 are what? Equivalent fractions. That means instead of this, I can use this fraction. Right. So for the office, we know what is the amount as a fraction? 2 by 9. Right? So if we add these two together, what will we get? 8 by 9. එතකොට classes වලටයි office වලටයි ගිහිලා තියෙනවා මෙච්චරක් ඉඩ. එහෙනම් ඉතිරි ටික ඔක්කොම library එකට යනවා කියලා තියෙනවා. හරි? එහෙනම් ඒක කොච්චරද? 1 by 9. 1 by 9. Right. So the third part, find the floor area of the hole. So we need to calculate the whole floor area. We know from the third part, from the previous part, 1 by 9, that is what? Or 1/9. So this is the amount of floor area which is reserved for the library. So we know this is equal to what? 200 square meters. So 1/9 is 200 square meters. What is the whole amount? 200, we have to multiply that by 9. So we get what? 1800 square meters. So that is the answer. Right. So this is the answer. Right. Part 4, what do we have? Find separately the floor area that is allocated for the classrooms and the office. Right. So the total area we know. So from that 6 by 9. So this much is reserved for the classrooms. So 9 times 1, 9 times 200. 200 into 6, we get what? 1200 square centimeters. So these are for the classrooms. I will simply put classes. The total amount is 1800 square meters. From that, 2 9s. Those are for the office. So 9 times 1, 9 times 200. 200 into 2, we get what? 400 square meters. 400 square meters. Of the amount that Anil spent on a trip, 4 by 7 or 4 7ths was spent on food and 2/3 of the remaining amount on travelling. If 800 rupees was spent on other expenses, find how much Anil spent in total on the trip. Right. So we will jot the figures, right? So 4 7ths. So this much was spent for food. Then 2/3 of the remaining amount, I'll simply put an R, of the remaining amount, 2/3 was spent on what? Traveling. And 800 rupees, other expenses. Find how much Anil spent in total on the trip. 4 by 7, that amount, that is for food, no? So we will calculate as a fraction, what is the amount that was spent for traveling as a fraction. So the remaining amount is what? If 4 7ths were spent on food, 3 7ths, no? So from this amount, 2/3 were for traveling. This amount, that is for traveling, huh? Now what is the total amount for food and traveling as a fraction? 4 by 7, we have to add the 2 by 7, no? So 4 by 7, we have to add 2 by 7. So we get what? 6 by 7. What is the amount? What is the remaining amount? 1 by 7, no? So 1 by 7, we can assume that is equal to what? 800 rupees. නේ? ඇයි ගානේ කියනවනේ මේ මෙන්න මේ දෙක ඔක්කොම කරලා අන්තිමට ඉතුරු වෙන ටික ගියේ මොකේද? Expenses වලට. Right? So we can easily say 1 by 7, that is equal to what? 800 rupees. Then what is the total amount? 800, we have to multiply that by 7. So what do we get? 5600. So what is the amount in rupees? 5600 rupees. Don't forget the unit, huh? Otherwise you won't be getting the full marks. Right, question number 5. Saroja read 1/3 of a book she borrowed from the library on the first day. So 1/3 on the first day. On the second day, she was only able to read half of the remaining portion. Half of the remaining portion. Huh? On the third day, she finished the book by reading the remaining 75 pages. Right? So 75 pages. So that is on the third day. How many pages were there in total in the book? So on the first day, we know she read 1/3 of the book. On the second day, what is the amount that she read as a fraction? First day she read
1/3, no? Then what is the remaining amount?
3 by 3 minus 1 by 3, no? So that is what? 2/3. From this amount, she read half. So 2 by 3, we have to multiply that by 1/2. So I can cancel out the 2's. So 1 by 3. That means what? On the first day, she read third of the book. And the second day, she read also another third of the book. So altogether, on the first and the second day, she read 2/3 of the book. First and the second day in total. Huh?
So the remaining pages, on the third day, she read the full book, no? So the number of remaining pages were given, 75 pages. That means what?
1/3 is equal to 75 pages. That means what? What is the number of pages? 75, we have to multiply that by 3. 70 times 3, we get 210. 5 times 3, 15. When we add these together, we get 225. So 225 pages. Right. So now we will do the miscellaneous questions. Find the fraction suitable for the blank space. Right. So this is the gap, no? The space, right? So we will put a letter here. So we will put A here, right? So this is an equation, right? So what do? We will take this 3.5 to the other side. Okay? So this becomes what? 4.5 minus 3.5. What about here? 1.5 means what? If we convert that into improper fractions, that will be what? 3 by 2. So we have to multiply that by A. That means what? 3A divided by 2. Right? So 3A divided by 2, that is equal to what? 4.5 minus 3.5, that means what? 1. Now 3A is equal to what? 1 times 2, which is 2. Right? Now A is what? 2 divided by 3 or 2 by 3. Second question, we will write this, the same expression in another way. Right? We will simplify these expressions. Why? The expressions are inside brackets, no? Right? So we can do the simplification. Okay. So we will, first of all, we will do this. So 2.5, I am going to add 1 and 2 by 3. Right? So 2.5 means what? And also we can use the short method here. We know that 2.5, we can break this into what? 2 plus half. And in the same manner, we can break 1 and 2 by 3 into what? 1 plus 2 by 3. Right? This means what? 2 plus half plus 1 plus 2 by 3. So since I am running out of space to write, right, I will just erase and do the simplification. Huh? So 2 plus 1, what will that be? 3, no? Right. So I will write a 3 here. 3. Then to that we have to add a half and 2 by 3. So we can do the short method here to add the two fractions. Right. So 1 by 2, to that we add 2 by 3. Right. So we will do the cross multiplication method. 1 times 3, that is 3. Now on this way, 2 times 2, that is what? 4. So we are adding, that is why we put a plus here. 2 times 3, what is that? 6. So here we have 7 by 6. Right? So when we do this simplification, this becomes what? 3 plus 7 by 6. But we know 7 by 6 means what? When we simplify it as a mixed number, 1 and 1 by 6. Right? So this becomes what? 3 plus 1 and 1 by 6. And also I can break this into what? 1 plus 1 by 6. So 1 plus 1 by 6. So I can simplify the entire thing into what? 4 and 1 by 6. Right. So we know when we simplify this bracket, so we will write it. This becomes what? 4 and 1 by 6. Right. Now what do? We will erase that and we will simplify this bracket. Okay. Right. So first of all, we will convert this into what? We will convert this into improper fractions. So it will be what? 6 by 5. Divide by 4 by 15 plus half. Right? So here we can do the simplification. So we have to write what? This is a division, no? So we will convert it into what? A multiplication. Then we have to write the reciprocal of this, which will be what? 15 by 4. 5 times 1, 5 times 3. 2 times 3, 2 times 2. So 3 times 3, that is 9. 1 times 2, that is 2. So here what will we get? 9 by 2. 9 by 2 plus 1 by 2, or 1 half. What is that? Denominators are same. So we get what? 10 by 2. 10 by 2. What does that mean? 5. So when we simplify this part, we get what? 5. Now 4 by 5 of, within brackets, what do we have? 4 and 1 by 6. Right? And we have to divide by what? 5. And before we go any further, we have to simplify this. So this becomes what? 4 and 1 by 6. When we convert this mixed number into what? Into an improper fraction, what happens? The denominator will be the same. 6 times 4, that is 24. Add the 1, this becomes what? 25. Right? So I can write 25 by 6 here. 25 by 6. And this off, I will replace it by what? Using a multiplication symbol. So now the BODMAS. So we have to start from the left and work our way to the right. Why? We have a multiplication and a division. So they have the same priority. So we start from the left. So when we multiply, we can do some simplifications. 2 times 2, then 2 times 3. 5 times 1, 5 times 5. Then what will the output of this? 2 times 5, we get 10. 1 times 3, we get 3. So here the output will be what? 10 by 3, no? 10 by 3. So 10 by 3, we have to divide by 5. So I will put it like this. Multiplication by what? 1 by 5. 5 times 1, 5 times 2. So here the outcome is what? 2 by 3. So for this question, the answer is 2 by 3. Right, miscellaneous questions. Question number 3. A, B and C are 3 owners of a business. The profit from the business was divided between the 3 of them based on the amount they each invested. A received 2/7 of the profit. Right. So A received 2/7 of the profit. Right. Then B received twice the amount that A received. That means what? 2 by 7, we have to multiply that by 2. So this becomes what? 4 by 7. Then C received what? Remaining portion. So according to this, it will be 1 by 7. If the total amount that A and B received together is 72,000, find the profit from the business. When we combine the profits of A and B, that means what? 2 by 7 and 4 by 7, it is what? 6 by 7. And in the question, it is mentioned that that is equal to what? If the total amount that A and B received together is 72,000 rupees. So this is equal to what? 72,000 rupees. So what are they asking? Find the profit from the business. So from this we can calculate what is the amount equal to 1/7. So what is that? 72,000 we have to divide by 6. Why? 6/7 is equal to 72,000. No? So in order to calculate 1/7 of it, 72,000 we have to divide by 6. So 6 times 1 and 6 times 12. So 1/7 is 12,000. Then what will be the total value? 12,000. I have to multiply that by 7. Then what will I get? 84,000. So 84,000 rupees. So that is the answer.
Right, miscellaneous exercises, question number 4. An election was held between two persons to select a representative to a certain institution. All the voters who were registered cast their votes. The winner received 7 by 12 of the votes and won by a majority of 120 votes. So under that we have 3 questions. So the first one, what fraction of the total votes did the person who lost receive? So here it is mentioned that all the voters who registered cast their votes. So the person who won received 7 by 12 votes, no? Then the person who lost received what? 5 by 12 votes, no? Right? Why? 7 by 12, when we add 5 by 12 to that, it sums up to 12 by 12 or a whole one. Right? So this will be the answer, or we can get the same answer by subtracting 7 by 12 from 1. So this will be what? 12 by 12 minus 7 by 12. So the answer will be what? 5 by 12. Right? How many registered voters were there? The majority, that is what? Madipura Chandra. Majority, that is what? 120 votes, no? That means what? So the winner, he got what? The amount of votes as a fraction, 7 by 12. The person who lost got 12 by 7. This is a majority, no? That means what? That is the difference between the amount of votes the winner got and the person who lost got. So when we subtract these two fractions, this is equal to what? 2 by 12. So 2 by 12 means what? This is equal to 120 votes. Right? So if something has been divided into 12 parts, which all are equal parts, or in another sense, if something has been divided into 12 equal parts, and if we take 2 parts of it, and that is equal to 120, what is one part? 120 divided by 2. So we get what? 60. That means what? 1/12 is equal to 60. That means what is the total amount of votes? What do we have to do? 60. We have to multiply that by 12. So the answer will be what? 720. Right. Third part. Find the number of votes the winner received. The winner got what? The number of votes as a fraction? 7 by 12, no? So we know the total amount of votes, which is what? 720. So we have to take this fraction from this amount. So 12 times 1, 12 times what? 60. So 7 into 60, that is what? 420. So this is the answer.